Alright, so I messed up the link, so I've added a new link. So please join this. I'm just gonna wait for a bit for more people to come, and yeah, we'll get going from there. Right, I'm live. I changed the link. I'm sorry. Open it again. Cool. Let's see who's here. What's up, D? How do I pronounce your name? Just D? So that doesn't want to let me in to the meeting. Is the audio fine now? Should I increase it? Should I decrease it? Piyush is here. Yeah, bro, just D. Cool. Alright, so should we just start? Also, if you guys know somebody who would be interested, please share the link. Let them know that I'm doing this, and if you can get them here, that'll be great. Also, to everyone here, one more thing is this is going to be a very basic course. I'm just trying to cover a little bit of shape layer, a little bit of null, and what I showed on my stories is slightly advanced, but I just want to get you guys started to maybe explore later and figure out how you want to do it, kind of thing, if that works. Yeah. Cool. I think we can just start. Alright, so today I'm working on completely vanilla After Effects. There's no add-ons, no plugins, so that if any of you guys wanna follow along, you can do that. Also, if you notice this, I have got this plugin so that you guys can watch my keyboard and mouse clicks, whatever. I'm guessing that should make it easier for you guys, and feel free to stop me because this is gonna be pretty short because there's not much to teach. It's quite simple today. I think it's going to be more shortcuts heavy and stuff, maybe, but let's see. I'll try my best to even show you where everything is in these menu systems. So okay, first let's start off with like what you can do in this workspace. You can go for you can use this workspace for both VFX and motion graphics, though I have a separate workspace as I had shown earlier. This is what I prefer when I'm working on one screen. These are all the plugins that I use and actually need, and this is FX Control because I use FX Control a lot, that's why I need this here. But when you open After Effects, this is the default that you'll get, and this is basically where you'll see all your footage or motion graphics, whatever you have created. This is where you can access stuff like audio, preview, effects and presets and stuff like that. This is a panel that you're going to use a lot, and if you can see this, do I got to move this? So as you can see here, there's this effects and there's a search bar within which you can type in anything you want and you can get those things. And yeah, so let me bring that back here. We don't need that. Cool stuff. So like I had explained earlier, use this to reset to the previously saved layout, or you can drag everything around, play around however you want to, and reset your layout. Or you can even save it by saving it as new workspace after you make a couple of changes. But anyways, let's get started now. So the first thing you want to do on a completely After Effects based project is create a new composition, and you'll be greeted with this. I'll type in shape layer play, maybe, I don't know. I don't need this much resolution. 1920 by 1080 will do. This is the used to be the standard, at least. Frame rate is a nice 30, and I like my resolution at full. Duration can be, let's make it 30 seconds. Cool. And let's click OK. Alright, so this is where all the tools are which you're going to need, but I recommend you to start using shortcuts because that makes it a lot faster, and you're probably just going to use very few common shortcuts. Oh hey, I guess that's joining, but anyways. So, hey Siddharth, can you hear me? So I'm going to start off with the pen tool, which is probably the most useful tool in After Effects. So once you select the pen tool, all you got to do is, click, 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 click. I'm holding shift right now to get these straight paths, but if you let go of shift, you can just, do any random thing. If you click and drag, you get these Bezier handles and it goes curvy and stuff. So, play around, see what suits your fancy. Oh, hi Siddharth, I can hear you all of a sudden. You're gonna have to allow me to share my screen, by the way. But anyways, in the meantime, there are these two important buttons here. If you guys can see it, the star and the checkerboard kind of thing. So this star indicates that yeah, Siddharth? Did you?
I'm sorry, internet just unstable. You continue.
Yeah, cool. So these two, this indicates a shape. So when this is selected, it's going to create a new shape, as you can see. But because this layer was already selected, the new shape that I've just made will come under contents as shape number 2, as you can see here. But so if I move this layer around using my arrow keys, the whole thing will move. So if I want to move one of them, you'll have to go into path, click on this path, and you can move this around individually. The other way to do this is, let's say it's all like logged in, you can click on this search bar and then type in path, and you get this, and then do that, and then you'll even get your second path. So oh Siddharth, I can hear myself. Could you mute or do something?
Yes.
Yeah, cool, thanks.
Yeah, done.
Alright, so this is not ideal for me, at least. I really don't like having all my shapes in one layer. It hasn't helped me in any way till now. So what I'm going to do is just delete this, show you the other way. That is I'm clicking G for pen tool, that's a shortcut, and I'm going to create a random path. Now I want another shape, but if I start another one, it's obviously going to put it under this. So the trick is to shift Ctrl A. This means that it will deselect every layer, and then you can go ahead and create another path. And if you have observed, I have now got 2 shape layers. So now when I select this, I can move this around. When I select this, I can move this around. So I'll just get rid of my older path, don't need that for now. So let's play a little bit with the shape layer. No, actually first I need to tell you, in After Effects, most of the work you're going to do is going to be with these 4 keyframes: position, scale, opacity, and rotation. So I mean, everything is self-explanatory. All you have to do is create a starting keyframe and an ending keyframe. So let's say 2 seconds into the composition. Actually, let's get rid of this shape. Let me start with a nice circle. Oh, so this is your circle. Oh, actually, let me explain all the tools first. So this is your ellipse tool, and if you press and hold, left click and hold on this, you'll get more tools, and the shortcut is Q. So I can just click Q, and as you can see here, it's skipping through all the different tools. Same thing with pen tool. If I click G, it'll keep. It actually switches between only 2, though there are 5. So you're gonna have to go in and change them. But when you change it, it skips between 2 specific ones. Oh no, it skips between everything. Never mind. Then there's a text tool, which is Control T if you want to create anything, and it's a horizontal type tool and vertical type tool. I mean, they're self-explanatory. Horizontal type tool is going to be like this. Yeah, and then once you've created text, let's go into that. Once you've created text, what you can do is go over to this right panel that you have, and one thing over there is going to be character, and when you click that, you can just choose anything from your library. And I'm going to stick with this. Maybe I'll make this white. That didn't make it white. Just Control A, select everything, go to this, make it white. Cool, now it's white. But anyways, don't need that. Moving on, these are for more VFX based work. I've never used this unless it's a VFX shot. The clone sample is the same as from Photoshop. I'm not going to get into these tools right now. The rotor brush is also a VFX tool again. Puppet pin tool basically enables you to like bend images and stuff like that. This is your normal selection tool, that is V. H for hand tool, and that makes it, you can do that. Alt and question mark, oopsie. Alt and question mark brings your screen back to normal. If you don't want to use your hand tool, you can always just use the middle mouse button to move the screen around, and just scrolling zooms in and zooms out, like it zooms into the place you want it to go and does that. So now I don't like this black screen, so let me get a solid in, which is kind of like just a background. So I'm going to click Control Y, and the other way to do that is go to Layer, New, Layer, New, Solid. So when you do that, you can pick a color over here. Let's go with a very lightly saturated blue, and let's see, 1920 by 1080, everything is fine. Cool. So this is just a solid. This is literally nothing else. I can add a fill layer. Oh, I'm not going to use a shortcut. So FX and preset, fill, and if I double click on this effect, I haven't selected this. So select this layer and then double click fill. It's gonna add a fill layer, and as you saw this, my project panel skipped over to FX control. So I under FX control, I can go in and I can choose again whatever I want. It's basically the same thing, but you at least have control. Otherwise, you didn't. So now I've got this, and yeah, you can use these to lock a layer or solo a layer, which I'll show later on. For now, I'm going to lock this layer. And let's try to play around with Vivek. Neither do I. I hate having two parts in the same layer. Yeah, same. So yeah, anyways, coming back. Q. Wait, can all of you, like, if you're following along, can you guys tell me if I'm going too fast, too slow, or whether this works or something?
I mean, according to me, you're going pretty okay.
Pretty okay? Cool.
Nice speed.
Alright. Can these guys hear you? Speak?
I
don't think they can.
chicken biryani. I like the brown blankets.
I think they can hear you. Can you guys hear Siddharth? I hope you can. Anyways, moving on.
Should I
Huh?
play it from the side?
Sorry?
Should I play it from the side?
No,
Should
no,
I play
no.
the YouTube video?
We should have configured this earlier, but anyways, let's
Sure.
yeah. So now let's try to make something somewhat similar to what I showed on my story. So I'm going to pick up my ellipse tool, which is right here, and yeah, like I said, Q, and you can choose whatever you want. I'm going to hold shift for a circle, and yeah, so if you hold spacebar, it will move around in space like this before you let go of a final form. But now I'm going to let it go, and I'm going to go into my align tab and put this right in the center where I want it. So now we can talk about this tool. This is called as a pan behind tool. So what it does, it moves this around. This is the anchor point basically. So let's now look at our transform options. So I'll twirl that down, I'll twirl our transform options, and this is our position. This is what indicates where in 2D space where our object is going to be, and you can go hover over this and just like left click and scrub, and it is just going to move. So I'm going to go 20 frames into my composition, and I'm going to drop a keyframe for position. Then I'm going to go back all the way to 0, and alright, so now this is how fast it's moving if I don't click anything. If I hold shift, it's going to go really fast, and if I hold control, it's going to be even like finer. If you guys can see that, like it's super fine even though I'm moving so much. So let's go outside and let's see how this looks. Yeah, now that looks horrible, and I'm going to click N. It's going to bring that here. So this is my end point now, so this will keep looping however long I want. So yeah, now I've got a circle that just comes into the frame. Also now that we are here, what I can show you is our options for increasing and decreasing the stroke. Let me bring this back to the center. So increase, decrease stroke, I'm going to increase that. That looks nice. And our fill, you can click on this and go, change the color, do whatever you want. But you can also add a gradient by going in. So what I did there was click fill, and then you get these options. This is a linear gradient and a radial gradient, and yeah, if that's what you need, go for it. This looks kind of cool. I hope. Nope, I don't like that, so I'm just gonna go without a fill. So yeah, this is a very basic animation. It looks bad, it is bad, there's nothing much happening. Maybe there is a time and place for all of this kind of stuff, but I don't need it. So now what I'm going to do is show you what the anchor point does. So when it comes to rotation, as you can see, my anchor point isn't in the center, so there's a little bit of up and down movement, for which I would recommend everyone to get that anchor point repositioning tool, which I will show you guys later. I'll put it in the comments or something. But for now, let me show you the use of having this here. So let's create a ball and let's make it bounce. Cool. So I'm going to open my position tools and create a position. It starts, let's get this somewhere in the center for now. Alright, so according to our position tool, now keyframe set, let's bring this back, 20 frames in, it goes down, maybe it bounces, and then it goes back up. So for that, I'm going to Control C, Control V. Was that clear? That's pretty basic keyframes. So did that make sense? Anybody? Siddharth?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it did. I think I missed the part where what is the shortcut for inserting a frame?
Inserting a?
What what is the shortcut for inserting a frame, or did you not use the shortcut?
Inserting a frame?
I think I just missed. Not frame, keyframe.
Oh, a keyframe. So over here, there's this time stopwatch. I mean, you can just click the on first try. Okay, so let's do that. So now it doesn't have any keyframe. Let me click UU. That opens up all the properties. But actually, I don't need that. So I just open P for position, S for scale, T for opacity. These are three things we could play with. So
okay, opacity.
yeah, so now I want this to be where it starts, so I'll go back to the first frame, click the stopwatch on position, and now there's a new keyframe there. I go 20 frames in, and now there are two ways of actually controlling this. I can just go ahead and move it over here, or I can use the Y coordinates over here to move it down by left clicking and holding and dragging. So there we go. I actually want this to be the first keyframe, so let me delete this and select this, drag it forward. Cool. So now go up. Yeah.
Cool.
Alright.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go forward in time. I'll copy this keyframe and paste it. And if I click N, actually control and left arrow brings you one frame backwards, brings the playhead one frame backwards, and then I'll click N, so that then it ends on this keyframe and then loops. Otherwise there will be one extra frame. So this is obviously not how a ball bounces. So this is where easing comes into play. So I'm going to select this center keyframe, go into my graph editor, which is right here, and I forgot to click F9. So make sure you click F9. That eases the keyframe, which basically smoothens out the curve. So you can watch it now. So we're like somewhat there, like almost, it sort of makes sense. But yeah, it still doesn't look as great as I want it to be. So let's take this. This is the center keyframe. I'm holding shift and I'm dragging, and I'm holding shift and I'm dragging. As long as it looks like there's a smooth curve, your animation is going to look good. I mean, like, that is just for you guys to understand at first, but you can play around with the graph editor however you want to and make these look as beautiful as you want. Let's put it that way. Also, there are two different graphs. One is the value graph that I'm working on right now, speed graph, and the other one is a value graph. So I don't like the speed graph because I don't like the value graph because it's got whenever I'm using position keyframes, I need to separate the dimensions, and it doesn't really allow me to do much otherwise. So I just go into speed graph, and like as you saw, I managed to do it without a problem. So now if you play it back, that does not look right either. That's too much easing. So let's pull back a little bit. Also, I would recommend everybody to go and watch the 12 animation principles done by Disney. It's super useful, super important. It helps you get better at animation for sure. So this is kinda almost like we're getting there. I think I would like it faster. So I'm going to select all three of my keyframes, and I'm going to hold Alt, and I'm going to bring it in like so. So now it's faster. Let me bring our endpoint over here, and yeah, now it's a little bit closer to what it should look like.
So
yeah, tell me.
So Rohit, just a doubt in the speed editor.
Yeah.
The axis horizontal line or the horizontal scale, whatever it is, that represents the time.
That represents the amount of easing. Like it represents the number of frames at a particular time. So let me go back to my graph editor.
Okay.
So when I drag these handles out, right, what it means is there will be more frames in this part of the animation in comparison to this. So that gives the illusion of it passing faster. So if you can see these dots over here, that's like the visual representation of what's happening. So when I skip one frame, you can see that it's jumping a big distance. This is towards the end of the peak, and when we go into the value of the graph, you can see that the distance between two keyframes are way lesser. Got that?
Understood.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that means that the vertical line has the information of the y-axis, or like where the ball is.
Yeah. No. The the y-axis holds a position like where it is in space. I think if I increase that, yeah, see that? I think it's okay. I'm not sure what exactly the x and y represents, but yeah, this.
Yeah, it's moving though.
Yeah. So the shortcut for getting into your graph editor is Shift F3. And if you have a mouse or something which can map these buttons, I will highly recommend you to map your extra buttons to do this. So I've got the extra button to like switch between the two, because I keep going in and out of this and it saves me a lot of time. So yeah, now we are somewhat there, but it's still not right. There's the principle of squash and stretch. That is Disney's principle, not mine. They're really smart guys who invented this thing. So for that, let's go into our scale property and let's create a keyframe. So at first, so when our ball hits the ground, I want it to have like a squash because of the impact. Hold on. Oh, Piyush says it's by Alan Becker and not Disney. So my bad. It's Alan Becker, guys. Don't hate me for that. So anyways, so I'm going to go into my scale property, and I'm going to unlink the scale so that both of them move independent of each other. If I link it, this is what happens. I don't want that. I just want the squashing to happen on the y-axis. So I unlinked it. So when it's hit, I want it to squash, and not so much, but yeah. And then as it goes upwards, I want it to go back to normal. So let's bring back 100, and then I'm going to go to my next keyframe, and then I'm going to insert another 70%. I think that's what it was here. Oh, I can just copy this. Copy, paste, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. So that does not look right. So what I need to do is I'll ease this. I don't have that, so I'm gonna have to manually ease this. Let's see what we can do. I just want my scale. Okay. Let's drag. I'm dragging the wrong one. So let's drag that, and let's drag. By the way, the red line is for the x-axis, and I don't need to do that. Don't really need to work on that right now, but I don't think I can separate the dimensions for this, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm gonna have to deal with that thing. So yeah, this still does not look right. This is probably not how it would happen. I would probably want it to happen a little early. Oh no, what am I doing?
I think
this needs to.
I think what's going wrong is the ball is squashing before it hits the ground.
Also, I forgot to ease it on the x-axis, which is a mistake I've made oftentimes. So I'm going to increase it on this to keep the mass correct. Hopefully this doesn't look wrong. Right, 100, and let's go to the last keyframe, 130, 70. Also, when it's going up, I could ease it. I could make it thin, but I don't think I really have the space right now to make it nice and like long, like so. Let's go with 70. Let's go with 70. 70 and 130. And let me copy this keyframe and paste it on its way out in the halfway point. That's a very wonky ease. Never mind. This. Please don't learn ball bouncing animation from me. Just learn it from a better source. But anyways, so for now, what did I do in my other animation? I don't even remember. But anyways, let's
See,
hmm.
I still think it's squashing before it hits the ground, and that's what makes it look odd.
All right.
Like,
So let's do it
so
after.
as in, what essentially happens is it hits the ground, it squashes, and then it de-squashes and then goes up.
All
Does that
right.
make sense?
So yeah, I got that. I'm just trying to. So I think Control C, Control V, Control V. So now, there we go. Ah, there we go. I fixed it. Cool. So basically, I needed to
Yeah.
so what I did there was basically I copied this keyframe and placed it here so that it goes back to its normal shape over here. So it looks like it's got that teensy bit of jello feeling. So yeah, that's fixed. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. I can animate a ball. So now the next thing that I'm going to do is separate the dimensions of my position. I do not need the X position. I will work on it separately. So that easing is gone. So let me bring back a teensy bit of that easing. F9. Give me that. Increase that. These turn into ease keyframes. I'm holding control and clicking on these keyframes so that it goes back to being the normal keyframe. There we go. Cool. So now what will happen if I increase the timeline's out point is that when I play it back, the ball ball just gets flattened and stops. So to fix that, you can either select all these keyframes, Control C, Control V. So now what happens is it's going to do that, and you'll also have to do that for the scale, obviously. Let's do that. Control V. Right? But this is obviously very laborious, and you don't want to do this for all of your if this is a longer piece of animation, you won't be doing this. What you want to do is go into the position property and hold Alt when you're clicking on the stopwatch for Y position, and then click loop, type in, this is an expression, it's just slightly advanced, but I think you guys can remember one expression. So loop out, and then I'll just throw in these brackets, and what that's going to do, as you can see, our Y position is using all these three keyframes as reference and just repeating it throughout. So if I, however long I want, it'll keep doing that. Let me do the same thing for scale. What you could do is right click on this, click copy expression only, go over to scale, Control V. Cool. So now we've got that. So now if you want the ball to bounce in from the left to right side or something like that, what we can do is play around with the X position. I'm gonna take this to the left. Let's make it bounce from outside the screen to off screen on the right side, because why not? So I move forward in time, and now I'm just increasing my X position. And yeah, this isn't really the ideal animation, but just to save time, I'm showing you guys. There's a lot you could do to this with rotation and stuff. And let's ease this actually, like it's slowly coming to a stop. Let's see. What am I doing? F9. Do you want me to show how to do this ball bouncing thing, or should we just skip this for now and like maybe play with masks or something?
I mean, like if it's quick and easy to just.
Yeah, I mean, sort of.
Ball just keeps on decreasing.
Yeah, I mean, we could try. Let's see how long it takes. I mean, we have another 30 minutes, so let me delete these because I want more control over this. I'm gonna copy these keyframes, Control C, gonna click J, Control V, K skips between K and J skips between your keyframes. So I'm gonna go here, Control V, KK, Control V, KK, Control V, KK, Control V. That's like what, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sets of bounces. And yeah, so we are gonna have to ease our scale also. Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V.
So wait, why is it decreasing in size? Did you just copy paste the keyframes as such?
These things? You mean
Yeah.
these lines? That is because of the easing I've applied to the X position. So if you go in here and manipulate the X position,
Okay.
yeah, it does that.
Oh.
So obviously,
So
ball.
could you do the thing for the Y position?
Sorry.
Could you do the same thing for the Y position also, as in
So,
it decreasing in height?
so for this particular thing, you're gonna have to do it manually. One second. Let me just copy these. And Control C, Control V. So for the Y position, right, you need these to. So when a ball is bouncing and coming to a stop, it's obviously going to get lower in height, right? So it's better to do this by hand. So first bounce,
Okay.
and at second bounce, what you're going to do is click on your Y position. Yes, Y position. Get this down a teensy bit, like halfway, not teensy bit. Go to the next high point. Another halfway point. Let's go to our next point. Another half. By the way, I'm holding shift and down arrow. Make sure you're on top of the keyframe, otherwise this will not work. So I think about here is where our ball pretty much is on flat ground kind of thing. So I'm going to delete these keyframes. I need that X. Cool. So now what we have here is so again this does not look right because as the ball bounces, the the X positions will get closer. So at our second bounce, let's bring our X position in. So left click and bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. Let's set our previous, actually I should probably set our previous X position. Let's go into our first bounce area. This is where I'm gonna, so to drop a keyframe for the existing value, you need to go all the way to the left over here and click this button. It'll add a keyframe, and this doesn't need to be eased, so I'm just gonna get rid of the easing on all of this. And how I did that was with control and clicking on all of them. Alright, so let's go forward. This is our second bounce point. We need to bring that in, and next bounce point, let's bring that in. Next bounce point, next bounce point. It's so far, this is hilarious. Alright, so and then we'll also add the last bit of the scale so that it goes back to normal. Yeah. So the
Okay, that looks
there's something wrong. Hold on. So I think everything can be a teensy bit faster. So I'm selecting all my keyframes, holding Alt, and let's bring it in. Alright, so the next thing you need to do is shorten the gaps between all of these keyframes, because as the ball starts bouncing lesser, it's obviously gonna take lesser time for it to bounce. So I'm gonna go in to our Y, and let's see, we can make this everything before this, after this, Alt and left arrow brings the keyframes in, 1, 2, 3, and these like that, 1, 2, 3. Make sure the gap between these two and these two are the same, otherwise it's going to look wonky. Let's go in here. I need to move these now, 1, 2, 3, 4, deselect this guy. 1 2 3 4. Let's deselect all of this, and 1 2 3 4 5. Deselect this. 1 2 3 4 5. Deselect this. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Deselect 1 2 3 4 5 6. Phew! Let's see how that looks. Cool. So we do not need this last bounce. We can delete this last squash. So now that exposition needs to end sooner. Needs to stop here. This needs to stop here. Cool. Slightly better. You can also decrease the scale intensity as the bounce decreases, but I'm not going to do that now. I'm gonna start off with another thing that we can do, which could finally end up in the camera thing if people want to know that. So I'm gonna click Q and create a circle while holding shift, holding spacebar to move this thing around, and let go. Now I'm going to align this to the center. Cool. So now that's aligned to the center. I want to make duplicates of this within it, as you saw in the camera thing. So I'll do Control D. What does, select this and Control D. So now you have a new shape layer. And so now I could just scale it down like such, but as you can see, Shift Control H, that thing disappears, and you can see the stroke width increasing and decreasing as I decrease the scale, right? So to combat that, the solution is you twirl down this, you open your contents, ellipse, ellipse path, and here play with the size over here so that the stroke remains the same. So it may look like it's getting thicker right now, but that's just because it's getting smaller. And don't really need this much thickness, so what I'm going to do is select these two, go up here and decrease my thickness to something I like, something like that. Go back here, I'm just going to type path, ellipse path, size, do that, and then we can do that one more time for our third shape layer. Ellipse path, size. Is that you're getting it right, or is this?
Yeah.
Cool.
No, it's going pretty nice.
All right. So now, wait. So has anyone been following along? Like yesterday, the Hriday was actually trying to follow along. So is anybody following along? Do you want me to stop and say something? Ooh, Aditya's here. Hi.
Hey, I had like just one question in the back of my mind.
Tell me.
In that ball thing you did,
Yeah.
right? Let's say I felt like the entire animation was like just put in the corner of that frame, and I wanted to increase the size. All I need to do is increase the size of the shape, the path, right?
Hold on. Size of what do you mean?
As in, like, okay, the ball is like bouncing and like only in a small part of the screen. I want the ball size to remain the same.
Okay.
But then I want it to cover a larger area when it bounces. Like right now, it's just stopping like before it reaches the middle of the screen. I want it to go all the way to the other side, and I want it to bounce.
Yeah,
from the
got you.
bottom of the
So
screen.
basically what you need to do is, again, the exposition, just move it where you want it to go. That's as far as I know, that's how you do it. So yeah, you just plan ahead and make like a rough draft of how you want it to move, and then you can do that. Excuse me, just had dinner.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that. Then again, whoever's watching, just play with your easing, only then this is going to look good, and reduce the amount of scale as it reduce the amount of squash towards the end, otherwise it's a tad bit too much. But anyways, moving on. So now we got our 3 circles. So to get dashed edges, I open this and then go into contents, ellipse, stroke, and then go to dashes. So click on the plus and you're gonna like get a crazy number of dashes. I'm gonna hold my control and play with the dash. I've got to increase it. I like that. Cool. I'm gonna roll with that and change this to round cap to get these rounded edges. I really prefer these curves instead of those squared off edges. I want to and then do the same thing for the previous one. Open contents, ellipse, stroke 1, dashes, click plus, play around with the numbers and see what works. Something like that works for me. Oh, it got extended. Decrease, cool. And then I'm going to go round cap, and that's about it. And then for the rotation bit, what I did was you could go, there are 2 ways to do this. As you saw in the contents, the ellipse comes along with its own transform. That's one way to rotate everything in this layer, in case you had too many groups, as I had shown earlier. Like let me just show what I mean. So if I draw another shape within this, I've got now shape ellipse 1 and shape 1. So if I use this transform, that's gonna rotate everything. But if I didn't want that and just wanted to rotate this, what I would have to do is go into ellipse 1, transform, and rotation. But anyways, nobody likes that. This is horrible. So just create a new layer and create a shape on that. So now the second method that I was talking about was ellipse path 1, stroke 1. And if anybody noticed, under dashes there was this offset option. So what that does is it just makes it go in a loop. So the obvious solution to make it rotate, like you saw in my story, is click on offset, create a keyframe on offset, go further in time, like somewhere here, and like increase it like crazy so that it looks like it's rotating, right? And then you could do the same thing for the other one also, but this is a very useful expression that I'm going to show. So hold Alt, click on the time stopwatch button, and then type in time star 4, star as an asterisk, time asterisk 4. So wow, that's very less. Let's go up to 400. I feel that's too much. Let's decrease that to 100. Cool, I like this. So again, I can copy this expression, copy expression, go up, go to this, and I can paste it into the offset. Oh, I just have to click Ctrl V. So now we've got it here. Now both are moving this same way, and if you wanted to move it the other way, open this and click on this, type in bracket minus, you'll get an automated bracket over here. Remove that, put it after the 100. Cool. So now they're moving at the same speed.
Divide by 100 work?
Sorry?
Wait, a star is basically multiplied, right?
Star is multiply, yeah. So 100 times per, not per frame, I don't know what the unit is, but I think every 100 something it rotates.
Okay, so would that work if you, like, instead of negative, if you just did slash?
Divide? Oh yeah, actually I never tried that.
For divide.
Probably would. Let's see. No, it's not. So it's just asterisk. But cool. I never thought about that until now. So I'm gonna stick with star time asterisk minus 100. So, and I obviously don't need any of that for the last layer. And yeah, that's about it for today, like as simple as possible. Do you think you learned something?
Uh, now, when do you like going to say talk about masks?
Sorry.
Weren't you going to talk about masks?
Oh yeah, cool. So I can show you what you could do with masks, which is another thing up there. So Control A, lock. L for closing all these layers. That's what I just did now because it gets messy sometimes. So now I've got my pen tool out. Let's say these three are like the sun or something like that. And I want to cut them off at halfway point so that it looks like the rising sun or something. So I go over here, select my mask, and I click one point, like hold shift and do that. Go up and that. So now when I play back, these things just disappear into this. And if you click M, you'll get all your mask options. So mask feather, that'll increase the amount of feather. So as you can see more of it just blending into the background. Mask opacity, obviously. Mask expansion is kind of cool. I've used it a lot of times when I'm animating, and you can see what that does. Basically increases or decreases the boundary of the mask you've already created. And this mask, it actually is not always convenient because it moves along with your object. So you might not always want this. So there are alpha mats and luma mats that we can get to on another day. So now if I want to create a mask for all three of this, one way to do that would be to copy the mask path on this and paste it. So like now if I had that mask again, so I could click M, select the mask, Control C, Control V, and I can just go around pasting it for all three of them, and that is quite cumbersome and I'm quite lazy. So if you don't have much else work to do on these or change them, what you can do is hold shift, select all three of the layers that you want the mask to be applied to, shift Control C, that brings up pre-compose, as you can see over here, circles I guess you could call them, and click OK. So now all of these come under one group, but if you double click, you saw that new tab that opened over here, so everything is still here, like you can still play around with them the way you want to. And you know, if I move this here, it reflects immediately over here, so I don't want that. Let's stick with this. And now if I, so when you pre-compose, it still uses the original dimensions. So if you can see my brown color bounding box, it's still following the old one. I mean the whole composition size, though these are just this small. So one way to fix that would be go into this, click on this button and create a box around your object, and go into composition and crop comp to region of interest. So when you go back to shape layer panel, you can see this, the bounding boxes are decreased accordingly. Please don't do that. Cool. So the next thing that we could do, so yeah, now the mask. Now I can apply the mask like in one shot. Cool.
Hey, Rohit,
Yeah.
I'm just slightly unclear on how the mask came into being.
How the?
Like how did you apply? Like I'm not very sure on how you applied the mask or got the mask option.
Alright, cool. So no matter what your layer you're working on, so let's this is the same for everything. So I'm gonna select this layer. Let's create a mask for this. So I'm gonna take G, my pen tool. Oh, I switched over to the feather tool, sorry. So G for pen tool.
Okay.
And over here there are two options. One creates a shape and one creates a mask. The checkerboard is what you want, because like I showed earlier, if you create another shape,
Understood.
it's gonna put that in here. We don't want that. So I'm gonna go with the mask tool, and now if I do this, whatever is inside the mask is what is revealed. So you know, obviously do this, so that it stays within. You can always flip the mask. Mask has a lot of options. I'm going to click M to open up my mask options, and over here you can see add, subtract, intersect and all that stuff. So if you click subtract, it's going to show you what's outside the mask. I haven't really played around with all the other mask options because I haven't had the need for them. So add and inverted is kind of like, I don't know why it's there. It's basically subtract, but if it's subtract it becomes add. So yeah, maybe just convenience, or maybe I just don't know what it is. Somebody could let me know why that's there. So yeah, are we clear on the mask thing?
Yeah.
Cool. So we have 5 minutes left. Do you want me to like just show you a breakdown on how I did the camera thing, or?
I think that can wait for next. I had like one very simple doubt.
Yeah.
Which kind of relates to mask. Let's say, I mean, I do not know whether this is advanced or not, but
It's
let's
fine.
say I wanted the circle,
Yeah.
right, to reveal itself by forming a circle.
Hold on. This
That,
is not related to the mask, right?
Is that a work of a mask where you keep, I don't know.
Okay, I mean like
circle
you
on
just
top?
want the circle to reveal itself, correct? Just reveal itself.
Just reveal itself like as if you drew the circle. You know what I mean?
Alright, so for that, mask is probably not the best way to do it. I would suggest something called trim path. So let's do that. We have 5 minutes. I can show you guys that. So open this, go to add, and you can click on trim paths. Open trim paths, and this start and end. Trim paths trim paths is actually very important. So anyone listening to this, make sure you remember it. You're going to use this a lot if you're going to do a lot of motion graphics. So I'm going to set a keyframe for my ending. Ending is basically end pointer, right? Not like the end of the animation. So ending is the end point of your circle, and I'm going to do that. So now what will happen is, actually let's do this on a line. Let me show you guys how to do this on normal line. So that, yeah, that's our one. Also, if you want to solo something, which I had mentioned earlier, it's this round dot. So if I click this, it's going to show me only this layer, and I can add another layer to show me. So yeah, now while working, or you know, I could have just hidden the other two, but never mind, I'm going to work with this non-dashed line. Cool. So let's open this, add trim paths, open this up, give me a keyframe here. 5 seconds is too much. Go down to like 1 to 20 frames. Go here and drag my end all the way down. So I am going to click Shift Control H so that you guys don't see anything. I mean the bounding boxes. So as you can see, this is just do you want me to call it opening the line? Like it's adding to the line. The line is forming, let's call it that. And I'm going to make this round cap because I hate hard edges. So yeah, see that?
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I'm going to drag this out to like maybe 1 minute 15, 1:15, and then F9. So now, so it's got that slow swoop in, or we could even increase this, and that would make it like it's just super. It's not that good. Hold on. Yeah, you saw that. Now I like that. I kind of like that. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, that was, I think, I hope that solved your question.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. That's nice.
Cool. So anything else? Anybody in the comments? Ooh. Okay, let's go to the comments. Hriday, hi Hriday. Piyush, Trimpads, Shruti, how am I always late? I know, right? Come on, man, we're doing this for you. Be on time. Piyush, what's up, Hriday? Alright, so everyone cool? Can we
I think
conclude?
our chat just turned into like a reunion.
Our chat just.
Turned into like a reunion of sorts.
I know, right? You're welcome, guys. I'm hosting the reunion.
Yeah. Nice.
I think that's about it, right? Like, do you guys have? We have like a couple of seconds. Do you want me to clarify anything? Happy Friendship Day, Piyush.
Yes.
Wow, did I explain so well that nobody has any doubts, or like did I explain so little or so
I
bad
think you had
that
explained pretty damn well, dude.
let's put it into it Amma head. All right. See you, Piyush.
Happy.
Yeah, I think that's it. Cool then. That's our 1 hour mark. Fun time. So you guys can DM me and let me know what you want for the next tutorial. We'll consider it. We might do we have anything else planned as of yet, Siddharth? Like, is there anything you want to learn?
I was thinking, like, we try to make a sort of like close to photorealistic tea house.
Close to photorealistic?
Close to photorealistic. We'll try to make it as photorealistic as possible.
Oh, the Blender thing, right?
Yeah, the Blender thing.
Huh. Okay. I was asking for the After Effects thing. Like, is there anything particular that you wanted to learn, or should we just go?
I think, like, not anything in particular.
Mm-hmm.
I do not know whether we have to go forward to the, like, whether people would want the VFX aspect or would they want the motion graphics aspect.
I think we'll first do a little bit more of motion graphics before we hit VFX, because I'm not really that good at VFX. I'm gonna probably find somebody who will do VFX. I think Vivek would be ready to do that, hopefully. So VFX probably I won't be taking, but I could break down a project that I did using pretty much only what I knew from animation. So, maybe our next video can maybe doesn't have to be live, but I'll make a video about all the plugins I use so that you guys can like download it, and
that makes sense. Yeah.
that then it will be more smooth.
Yeah, that's pretty. You can do the plugin like that, and that would be pretty fine.
Yeah.
Because you didn't mention how After Effects tends to be cumbersome without some of these plugins.
Yeah. So yeah, I think even the chat is going to sleep. So I think we can end this.
We can do that.
Cool, man.
Sure.
Goodbye, everybody. Oh wait, so that you can stay on
Bye-bye.
the stream. Stay on Zoom. I will. We can
Oh.
speak.
Oh,
All right.
cool.
See you guys. Bye bye.